So today I'm so excited and honored to welcome our speaker, Dr. Mohsen Attaran. He's our professor of management at CSUB to deliver his talk on a very relevant and interesting topic, applications of blockchain technology in business. You might have heard in the news recently that Elon Musk of Tesla bought some cryptocurrency for his baby boy and boosted the popularity of the cryptocurrency. So Dr. Attaran has recently published a book on this topic, which you could see on the screen right now. His research interests span business operations, knowledge management, and information technology. He has authored 4 books, over 120 peer-reviewed research papers, and 10 commercial software packages. In addition to being a teacher scholar, he is also a practitioner, as he is the founder and president of the IES Inc., a web and app development company. In addition, he has founded, launched, and managed several businesses in his career in a variety of technological fields, including a telehealth doctor visit. So without further ado, I kindly invite Dr. Attaran to deliver his lecture. Dr. Attaran, please.
Yes, good morning, Samita, and thanks to all of the participants. A beautiful day outside in sunny Southern California. So I welcome all of you. Thank you, Samita, for a warm presentation and welcome. To give credit to my co-author, portion of this presentation is based on the book that is published with the help of my co-author, Dr. Mohsen Attaran, former Dean of the School of BPA in 2019. This book is available on Amazon and other places for purchase. If any of you are interested in a chapter from the book, I'd be happy to send that to you free of charge. So to give you a little bit of non-technical background about this concept of blockchain, let's take a look at some chart here. This is coming directly from the book. The blockchain was introduced about 12 years ago by a person or group of person, pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. He wrote a paper that was published, and in that paper, he set the framework for blockchain, and also detailed the technique and method of peer-to-peer network. So we can see that it started in 2008, and since blockchain is a foundation for Bitcoin, it started its popularity 2009, 2010, and then gradually past 10 years, many companies, financial institutions, many public and private companies have accepted blockchain, accepted the Bitcoin and other digital currencies like Ethereum and Bitcoin Cash and the variety of them. And they took that upon themselves to utilize this digital currency instead of dollar, euro, or other denominators. I will come back to application of blockchain. I just wanted to give you how it was founded. But basically, blockchain is based on a couple of technologies. One of them is peer-to-peer. And I'm trying to make that very simple. So what does it mean is that we, in 1950s and 60s, we were server-based, meaning that we are connecting our personal computers to a server. The information is gained from the server and we use it. What is going to happen in 2025 and after would be peer-to-peer. Imagine that all the computers in the world, all the laptops, all the PCs are connected to each other. So that way, we have a peer-to-peer connection instead of many-to-one. The left-hand side server base is many-to-one. Here is one-to-one connectivity. So this network structure is one of the foundation of blockchain. The traditional centralized system, you used to have a single point of failure. If your PC fail, you fail. If the server goes down, you go down. And you notice that right now, when the Amazon website goes down or a given website goes down, because the server that is hosting information for that specific computer or that specific internet is going down. It also has high bandwidth usage. The usage goes beyond the certain point. The terabyte of data transfer, the system goes down. The decentralized peer-to-peer advantage is that there is no single point of failure because there are many computers, billions of computers are connected to each other, and they're all downloaded and the downloaders and the uploaders are working together and they're extremely fast. So one more time, before 2005, we had IBM, say mainframe, say 360. Many of us who grew up during that period of time and were students, we could not see basically the computer because it was mainframe. You just punch the information, punch card, take it to the front desk, they put it in, and you get the result back. In say 1980s and after, the first IBM personal computer got in the market in 1982. And from there, we started using personal computer. And later on in, say, 15, 20 years ago, we started using cloud computing. So we have all the information all going to the cloud. 2025 and beyond is going to be, again, peer-to-peer. So that is one foundation of blockchain. The other foundation is the fact that they're decentralized, the fact that you're using hashing and blocking and the network chain, and I'm going to explain each one of them one at a time. So for the purpose of just conversation, blockchain is it's basically is a decentralized list of records called blocks, and as mentioned, we are using peer-to-peer for linking of these secure blocks using cryptography. And that cryptography, I'm going to explain that how it works and how the hashing comes into place. So each block typically contains a hash of the previous block, a timestamp, and transaction data. And these are all chained together into what is called network of blockchains. Once the blockchain processes the information, every computer in the network logs in. So it does not let you change the information unless the original sender does so change the information. So each block determines who can add new blocks, as I said, the sender. So what is the concept of hashing? What does it do? The hashing is a concept that we use in computer, where you take a plain text and then you hash it, you convert it into combination of numeric and alphanumeric information. Okay, so let me give you that information. Give you an example. For example, let's say I input in the system mouse. Cryptographic hash turn that information into what is in the right-hand side. You can see that, and you can use 8-bit, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, make it more challenging. It's interesting to notice, take a look at the number 2 and number 3. Number 2, the blue mouse jumps over the green cat. When I hash it, the information that I get, the code in the right-hand side is this. However, if I make a typo, instead of saying over, I type, instead of V, if I type U, you see the hashing change that information into completely different digest numbers or hashed text. So this is another foundation of blockchain. That's why it is so secure, because no one can change the information but the sender of information. As soon as information is sent and it changes into a block through the hashing, it will stay there and it will add it to the block, create a chain, and security is right there. Let me give you an example. Let's say someone requests a transaction. Okay, so the requested transaction is broadcasted to a P2P network, okay? It turns into a hash, and if it's approved and verified, then through that cryptocurrency and through that hashing, create a block. That block will be added to the existing block, and the transaction is complete. Let me give you another example. Let's say Mike wants to send money, let's say to Mary, okay? So the process is, the transaction is represented online as a block. That block goes sit into the other P2P system through the hashing. If it's approved, then it will be added to the block and Mary receive the money. Of course, this is an example of using blockchain for digital currency. So that is really the foundation of blockchain. It uses hashing, it uses block, and it uses peer-to-peer networks. So this is not new. Right now, we have what is called Ricardian Contracts. The Ricardian Contracts is, instead of being, it is a written contract, however, it is digitized. So when it's digitized, it's not only human readable agreement, but also a machine readable agreement. So you see, if there is a dispute among parties involved, the case is legally binding, is also immutable. That means you cannot change it because it is turned into hash. So it's extremely secure. And of course, at the end result is that it saves cost and time. So in terms of contract agreements, what I'm trying to say, any contract, it could be right now turned into Ricardian contracts. You know, you do all of those DocuSign and all of that you sign. Those are digitized and readable, and it stands in the court of law as the person who signed it. It's a legal contract. But blockchain, what it does is it takes all of that information and adds a different layer or more secure level of security or layers of security. It's interesting to see that the cryptocurrency and blockchain follow almost the same trend. This is the cryptocurrency over the years. And of course, here is like for 2 years. And then this is the curve for the blockchain. So as cryptocurrency becomes more popular, blockchain becomes more popular. But the difference is that blockchain usage and applications are much more than just using it for cryptocurrency. All right, so how does the cryptocurrency work? Application of blockchain in financial institution or in terms of digital money, digital currency. So the way it works is that you grab a computer. Your computer has a good CPU, let's say i7, speed. Then you get a lot of graphic cards. Because believe it or not, graphic cards are the one that does also the mathematical calculation in the computer are done by graphic cards. So let's say you buy 8 graphic cards, put it in, $2,000 each for graphic card by NVIDIA, and you have $2,000 for the computer. You put it together, 10,000 computer, and you start mining. All right. That is basically exactly what happened, let's say, up to about three years ago. Okay, so from 2008 until, say, 2015, people were doing that. Okay, one computer could create, you could mine what is called Bitcoin. The way it works is that because you are spending a lot of electricity, graphic cards are electricity hog, you use a lot of electricity, the system rewards you because this formulation is, or the computer programming, mathematical programming could be downloaded free of charge. So you as a miner start mining, and then the system rewards you a fraction of Bitcoin as you do so, okay? So you get a block, what is called block reward, which pays out in virtual coins, okay? It would take an individual miner right now almost 100 years to solve the problem. That was not the case 6, 7, 8 years ago. Okay, it is the case, and I tell you why. In the beginning of 2018, the total cryptocurrency market cap, it was 600 billion. Now it is more than $1 trillion. So why is it that it takes so long to do it, and why is it so expensive now? Well, there are several reasons for it. Number one, the total number of Bitcoins that could be created in the world cannot be above 21 million. Okay? So as you mine more, because there are less blocks available to solve or to occupy for you, the more time it takes, the more money needs to be spent at time and more expensive. So right now, around 18.5 million Bitcoins have been mined. So we have only 2.5 more million to do. And then, so that limitation put a cap on how long it takes to do that. 10 minutes for a Bitcoin transaction to occur. So that means that the transaction is a bit slow compared to Visa and the other one. Right now, it would cost you a total of $73,000 to process one Bitcoin every month. Funny to say that, as of right now, let me check my Coinbase. As of right now, if I go to my Coinbase, which is a system platform that sells Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin as of right now is $47,322. Ethereum is $1,800. This is another digital currency. So $47,000. So let's say it costs you $73,000 to create one Bitcoin or to mine one Bitcoin, and you should sell it. You can sell it for $47,000. So you're gonna be you're gonna be negative. You're gonna be in the negative category. You should not do that. However, the reason it happened, take a look at this chart. We can have only 21 million Bitcoins, right? Right. But every 4 years, the total number of Bitcoins that can be created is halved. Okay. So in 2009, we could have about 21 million. 2012, only 10 million 10 million was generated. In 2016, 5 million. In 2020, only, 2,625,000. So you can see how the total number of Bitcoins that are available to be mined. Okay, these are availability to be mined. Can you mine it? Of course, you can still mine it, but not with one computer anymore. You need really something like this. Take a look at this. This is one of the mining facilities in Northern California. Look at the number of computers that they have. Okay, since it is electricity hog, the price that you pay is the price of electricity, because everything else, of course, with the hardware, software is free. So a lot of organizations, what they have done is they have gone to Africa, they have gone to Middle East, where the electricity is really cheap, and they start mining. But based on the chart I show you, really doesn't make much sense anymore. Okay, so look at the Bitcoin prices. It used to be a penny. All right, if you would have put $10 buying a Bitcoin in 2009, all right, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, you would have bought 1,000 Bitcoins. At the price of $47,000, you would have had $47 million now. I guess it beat every type of investment in the world. And believe it or not, a lot of people put their money there, especially a lot of kids, a lot of families. At the same time, many of them lost their password. So millions of Bitcoins are lost due to the fact that, people just playing, as a game, it's okay, it's a penny, doesn't make much sense. And then they didn't, they changed the computer, the hard disk crashed, also the problems that you have with PC. So they lost their Bitcoins. So billions of dollars are gone. What are some of the reasons for popularity of Bitcoin? Well, rising inflation, potential for even more stimulus, programs during the COVID. It pushes people to safe haven kind of assets. Increased adoption from PayPal. PayPal is accepting that. There are other companies that are accepting that. And of course, as you heard, publicly traded companies like Elon Musk, which, who about 2 weeks ago put $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. Of course, Bitcoin is also safe haven for money laundering. Many countries and many organizations that we are not going to name, they are using that because it leaves no trace. So what are some of the real advantages of blockchain besides the fact that it's a foundation for Bitcoin? Well, first of all, it's decentralized. So there's no central authority or party required to approve transaction. Okay, it's between people, it's between you and the recipient. You are 100% in control of your data, whether the data is a healthcare data, your genome pattern, it's your banking information, your credit card information, your whatever contracts, real estate contracts. You are in charge, and it's extremely secure. I showed you the reason for it because of that hashing. It could be shared publicly between you and the others. It's very trusted because it has high security, and it's automated. It happens on time and online. What are some of look at the advantages from another perspective. It can be used, first of all, it's unalterable copies only. It means you cannot alter it. I show you, you make a simple mistake, the hashing changes and it needs to be approved. It's real-time tracking. You don't need to wait for the bank to send you a statement. You immediately know what you have. It's very secure. No single point of failure, right? Because it's distributed. There are many, many computers connected to each other. So your data is copied over millions of computers and hard disks. Of course, it reduces costs. It is trusted and no third-party involvement. So when we talk about the technology, you see, if you consider blockchain as a technology, as a concept, as whatever you want to name it, in order for a technology to be successful, it needs to satisfy pillars of what we call it innovation challenges. And blockchain does. First of all, this technology is feasible. We are using it. It's desirable. People want to use it because of all of those that we discussed, and it has a lot of business value. So it is viable, desirable, and feasible. So that's why this technology is the technology of today and the future. So the application of blockchain is in many aspects and many processes in our lives. Financial institutions, prime example is digital currency. Many organizations, many financial institutions are adapting blockchain and also digital currency. For healthcare, anytime we talk about data, sharing of data, the sharing of data between different parts of the system, between doctors, nurses, patient, pharmaceutical companies, hospitals, all the components of the system, they need to use data. As a matter of fact, interestingly enough, I think the future of this economy is data warehousing and data mining. And anytime you do any action, whatever you do, create data. Right now, there are a lot of problems with the security of this data. Who holds the data? How is it being used? Is the information that you provide being sold to other companies? Well, Chinese are talking, there was a program on 60 Minutes regarding how the healthcare data by companies like, let's see, I forgot the name of companies, Ancestry, information regarding the genome patterns and data is being shared by that company. Was accusation by 60 Minutes that is being used, by Chinese because they capture that information, and that information, the data that they capture from all the genome patterns of people in the United States population could be extremely valuable for many aspects of business in terms of creating vaccine in the future or diseases and public diseases and blah blah blah. Real estate, another prime example. Anytime you have a contract, right, that contract can be validated and can be secured using blockchain. Legal, again, any documents that is legal document. Insurance companies, again, we are using all of those documents, signing and, life insurance and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, entertainment, education, government. I'm going to give more example of each in future slides. So top industries that are using blockchain right now. Finance, of course, mainly because of digital currency, 92%, supply chain, government agencies come third, about 70%. You have insurance and then cybersecurity. And the cybersecurity is increasing at a rapid pace. What are some of the potential outcomes of blockchain in banking? Okay, well, it basically, first of all, 90% of bankers are exploring the use of blockchain. Chase Manhattan City are examples of those companies. Facebook also trying to create its own blockchain, concept and technology for securing the information on their sites. But in terms of advantages, that the potential advantages for different banking system processes, 70% cost saving, 50% cost saving on business operation, 50% cost saving on centralized operations. So overall, you can see it has a great potential for banking industry. If you take a look at adoption rate is extremely high. As a matter of fact, number of internet users, as the number of internet users increase, we can see that the number of blockchain users also increase. It's up to year 2020, about almost, I don't know, by 2030, we get about 200 million users. But this is a projection. The dotted line is a projection. You can see that, as we said, we believe that by 2030, we get roughly about 200 million. But again, I was just trying to show you that the more people are using the internet, the more application of cryptocurrencies and, of course, at the same time, blockchain. There are some disadvantages to cryptocurrencies that you need to know. One is that the speed of transaction per second is low. See, this is Visa. It processes 24,000 transactions per second. PayPal, 193. The Ripple is another, system, 1,500. But look at Bitcoin, is only 7. So Bitcoin right now could be processed 7 transactions per second versus 24,000 for Visa. But of course, the other issue you need to take a look at is that PayPal operates in 202 markets and 305 million active users. Visa has 1.2 billion active users and has been around for 60 years. So I'm sure that Bitcoin in the future will increase the speed of transaction per second. Otherwise, it's really going to have a hard time replacing Visa. But I'm sure it will happen because they're working on it. So let's say the advantage or application of blockchain in different industries. In life science, regarding regulatory compliance, cybersecurity, product safety. In telecom, transactions, digital identity, peer-to-peer exchange. Let's see in energy and utilities in terms of improving product safety, proof of authenticity. You see, anytime you come with any type of securing data, anytime you have a data anywhere in any industry and you want to secure it, talking about you have a data warehousing, security of that warehouse. Then you mine the data from this warehouse, make sure that the security and authenticity is there. That authenticity and that security for the transaction and for the data in a data warehouse, when you mine it, is secured by what is called blockchain. So as you can go into each one of these, you see one by one digital identity. Let's say Internet of Things. I will talk more about Internet of Things in the next slide. Financial services, we discussed that. Public sectors, document verification, proof of ownership, your marriage certificate, your driver license, your, ID card, all of those in the near future going to be using blockchain for security and for digital identity and product safety. Proof of ownership in terms of automotive, insurance, smart contracts. When it comes to IoT, Internet of Things, just a very short definition of IoT. The first generation of Internet, we connected people to computer. The second generation of Internet, we connected people to people, cell phone and all of that. The third generation of Internet is IoT, Internet of Things, where we are connecting things to things, okay? Anything that can be connected, it is connected. The smart cities, example, connected vehicles, autonomous cars, retail industry, pets, mobile industry, smart devices. All of those are using what is called, the connection of things to things, internet. So what are some of the advantages of blockchain for IoT? Well, it can be used for device identification, act as a bridge between all IoT devices. It eliminates the central hub, sensors that timestamp data on the blockchain and save them from manipulation. It reduces the vulnerability, formation of marketplace to enable customers to sell their data from IoT devices, platform to serve IoT data on a private blockchain and share it with all business partners. Imagine you charge your Tesla at home at night when the rate is low. You go to work, you connect your machine to a network at work under that solar panel system. So I am driving from San Francisco to LA. I need to charge my car. I stop by this office and I connect my car to this network. I buy it from you. You put cheap energy into your car at night at the cheap rate. Come here, sell it at the high rate to me. Is this possible? Of course. Is the technology there? Yes. Are we doing it? No. And the reason for it is because we do not have a sophisticated and proper networking system to do that. But in very near future, when we are using peer-to-peer connection and networking system, this is what is going to happen. Everyone is connected. Everyone is going to share data and information. Everyone will be able to sell their electricity and to other people and gain money. Of course, right now, PG&E tell you that you can sell extra, electricity that you have from the sun energy, but that is not true. They basically give you a credit, and at the end of the year, the credit is going to be gone. So let's take a look at factory of the future. The factory of the future, as you see, everything is robotics connected. You're using computer-integrated manufacturing. You're using, all sorts of equipment and robots that are create this factory where robots could generate robots. In terms of the factory for, let's say, supply chain management, the blockchain can provide efficient tracking of containers across multiple warehouses, accurate recording of all important product information, support security and compliance, adherence, provide transformation efficiency, expedites reconciliation of the contract, improve anti-counterfeit measures, all of that. So again, you see how blockchain application is widespread. In marketing, blockchain can be used in marketing for tokenizing loyalty rewards, for consolidating gift cards, for verifying engagement, for validating email delivery. when it comes to advertising, because it's immutable advertising metrics, so it cannot be changed and is very accurate. You can using that, you can secure advertising of a smart contract. It provides clearer attribution for your advertising platform. You can also make money out of that. If you come up with a nice advertising promotion for a company, you can register that under your name and as a secure document. So you can basically monetize that information. A lot of people are talking about the fact that in social media, let's say you go to Facebook, you add, let's say there is an issue over there and you come up with some suggestions for improvement and you make a comment. That comment right now, of course, it is yours, but there is no, you really don't have a right to it, okay? Blockchain enable you to have a right to the picture that you put there. If you took the picture yourself, the information that you added, then that information and picture, if it's used by anyone in the world, you know who that is, and you can monetize it and get money for it. So we're talking about that type of situation that right now does not exist because we don't have the technology. It can be used for capital market. It is decentralized platform like, the Ox or Augur or Durham, and making it possible for foreign investors to invest. We're talking about a platform financial institution. It's used for online gambling, for labor market, where you automatically get paid if, according to a contract, if you perform the task, you will get immediately, instead of sending an invoice to the system and the system process it and pay you back in 30 or 90 days. In the food industry, I will talk about that in another slide. You will see how, for farming and the food industry in terms of security can be used. Of course, virtual real estate. Now you can purchase houses anywhere in the world without seeing the house, online, digital, seeing the videos and then invest in it without having the third party involved, paying 4 to 6% commission. So it also changes jobs of many people in the industry or service providers, including real estate agents. Take a look at accounting. Right now, company 1, company 2, company 500, you do your accounting. There's an auditor that keep track of your accounting and you have to go pay for it. That remind me that next week I have an appointment for my my CPA. But through blockchain, what you can do is we do it peer-to-peer. So here there's one auditor taking care of many people. So again, maybe the accounting job is not going to be as high in the near future. All right. So when it comes to food, products, blockchain can be used. All of those issues that we had regarding Ebola, regarding mad cow disease that happened, how do you connect the meat or the food product to the source? From farm to the table. In between, there's so many activities that are happening. If you put all the information into a blockchain, you can immediately know the source of the problem. It took years or months to really find out the source of mad cow disease or the Ebola and all of that. But this facilitates that very quickly. It can also be, a blockchain can be used in gaming. I don't want to get much into that. The slide is descriptive enough. Integrated gaming profits, secure investment in game, and blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about in retail. Supply chain, as I mentioned, many retailers are accepting cryptocurrencies. It also creates customer identity. When you order something from a retail store, in order for the system to know that it is really you, this blockchain can immediately give that identity. In terms of preventing fraud and counterfeit goods, many high-end fashion product, Louis Vuitton is losing tons of money due to counterfeiting, and it's so good in terms of quality that it's very difficult for a novice person to say that it is really genuine, not counterfeit. The blockchain technology enable you to make sure that it is the case. Product contracts, reducing cyber hacks. It's very widespread right now, application of blockchain in retail. 18% of retail consumer goods companies have already started using it. 70% are saying that they're in process of using it. Of course, the data is from 2019. More than 14,000 retailers said that they're accepting cryptocurrency. Again, this is 2 years old, much more. Let's take a look at how blockchain brings cybersecurity. This is the number of breaches, of course, to 2018 that I tabulated for hospitals and healthcare industry. Okay, a while back, a hospital in United Kingdom was hacked. They had to pay ransom before their patient information is completely destroyed and erased from the hard disk of the server in the hospital. So they are not reported, many of them. These are the reported ones. There are so many of them that are not reported. So blockchain brings a strategic value to improve the health records. It improves the accuracy of auditing of government regulation. And it vastly improved the efficiency of records in the hospital. Right now, the problem that we have is that interoperability. You go throughout your lives, you see 5 doctors. Each time you see a doctor, I'm using this as an example, each time you see a doctor, information is stored somewhere. So at the end, you are not in charge of data. You have, as a patient, have no right over your data. If you want to move from one doctor to the other, you really have to get a permission for them to send information. That is ridiculous. What we need to do is we need to have a common database called data warehouse. Then a patient, you in charge of mining that data. You take the information with you. You check the accuracy of data. You make sure that the data is secured using what is called blockchain. So patient, doctors, lab technicians, database servers, pharmacists, all of these players in the healthcare system are really using secure data. So the problem, as I said, challenges of the current healthcare system is drug counterfeit, data segmentation, poor management of data, and healthcare security. Blockchain provide all of that, basically cares toward all of those problems. It provides interoperability, security, maintenance cost goes down, data integrity is there, and it is universal access. You, as a patient, in charge of that. Do we have that? No, right now that system does not exist, but there are several companies that are working toward that end. For drug traceability, the opioid issues that we had, again, we don't know how many people are using it. We don't know their effect on their health, how many people die, and blah, blah, blah. So that common database that is secured by blockchain provide that type of security. Right now, during the COVID-19 pandemic, we couldn't really have access to proper information. We need to know the genetic patterns of all of those people, especially the one who dies. We don't know how many of them really had prior problems and issues. So it's completely confusing problem and issues without that secure data warehouse where the information regarding healthcare is secured by blockchain. Is very difficult to do any type of analysis and any type of improvement in the system. I don't want to take much time. Maybe in a few minutes I'll be done. I wait for your questions. But the last one is that the blockchain for healthcare data management, it provides improvement for data segmentation. It creates big data, from all the wearables information, all the data, it could be captured and put in a database for a given patient, and through connectivity and interoperability, we'll be able to access that information. So data security is there, payment processing also is there, and all of that. Again, last slide, show how the cybersecurity is saved or improved by blockchain. I have all sort of information here that provide public keys, can help verify whether a software update or download is legit, all of that. We have blockchain products out there. These are some of the products by IBM. Original Trade is another one. Provenance provide chain of custody and certification of supply chain. For healthcare, we also have some blockchain. MedRec is one of them, medical chain, and that provide decentralized blockchain, patient records, and so forth. All right. For more information, if you're interested to read more articles like this one in the right, this is my website, mattaran.com. If you click on journal publication, you have a list of all of my journals. They're all online. You can click on it and read it. The book information is on the book. Here is another article you might be interested to read, blockchain-enabled technology. And basically, I am done with my formal presentation. I am open to any questions for the next 15 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Attaran. I mean, that was a very, very insightful presentation. I do have a few questions myself, but I'll go first with Urias.
Okay.
So he asks a question, with a new FDA blueprint, how do you see blockchain technology being utilized?
Did I hear FDA, Federal Drug?
FDA.
Yeah. Well, you might have a point. In order for blockchain to be used effectively, we need some government guidelines. And those guidelines have not been, to the best of my knowledge, those guidelines have not been set yet in terms of how, we're going to secure the drug traceability and all the information that is provided. Who is owner of that? Where does that information go? As I said in my presentation, blockchain is just a tool and a technology that can be used effectively. Now, how effective the result is, it depends to rules and regulation by government, willingness of organization and private sector to accept the technology and move forward. However, this technology is proven that it works if it's done right.
Okay, so I have a question myself. So when you talk about, say, blockchain and cryptocurrency, so we are basically talking about the database technology, right? Which is blockchain chain supporting different cryptocurrencies, right?
Well, the blockchain is a foundation of that cryptocurrency, meaning that in order to get that cryptocurrency, you are going to mine the digital currency. When you mine, you use the concept of hashing and the concept of, let me see if I can show that here, and the concept of, connected systems. See, if you take a look at this slide here, in order to mine, you need to have, first of all, you need to download the mathematical formulation software, and then start solving it. As you solve it, you create a block. Okay, right there, you're using blockchain technology. And then it is hashed. You're using blockchain technology. When it's hashed and it is secure, then you need to find a location in the chain of blocks to put your in. It means that I'm trying to tell the rest of you that, hey, I find an empty place, I want to put my block in, right? So you see, right there, you use the distributed network, you use the hashing, and you use the block for the blockchain. So those combination of those three are using blockchain. But the rest of that, of course, when you create a digital currency, then that digital currency has a value. So let's say, consider blockchain as a foundation of cryptocurrency, as something that without that we could not have had a digital currency. It's a pillar of digital currency.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you. And when you talk about digital currency or cryptocurrency, Bitcoin is not the only one, right?
No,
we have
as a matter of
others.
fact, yeah, Bitcoin, there are so many of them. For example, you have Bitcoin. Right now, as of right now, I'm looking at it, it's $47,322. Then you have Ethereum, which is $1,800. Then you have XPR. Then you have Bitcoin Cash. You have Litecoin. You have Stellar Luma. So each one of them, there are many of them. The most popular one is Bitcoin and Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. These are the popular ones. Look, the Stellar Luminous right now is about 53 cents. So you see 53 cents compared to $47,000. So the reason there's this type of variety, acceptance of this digital currency by people, by organization. If more organization buy Bitcoin Cash, the price of Bitcoin Cash goes up, supply and demand. It's not my prediction. Many predictions tell you that the price of Bitcoin is going to reach to $250,000 in a few years.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a lot. So when will the common man, people like us, will start using this cryptocurrency? Is it coming soon?
There are different ways of investing if you're talking about investment in it. Well, you're using it right now. I mean, and when you, if a company, if the bank, if the healthcare industry is using blockchain for securing the data and your data is in it, so indirectly you're using it. However, if you're talking about digital currencies, there are ways to invest in it. One is to go to one of those online platform. The famous one is Coin. It's called Coinbase. Okay, Coinbase. Coinbase. You go to Coinbase, download the Coinbase, then you can connect it to your bank and then start buying Bitcoin. Okay. The other one is that to go to ETF, buy ETF, those companies that mutual funds that are investing in mining companies. Some of the mining companies, stock prices is below $1. They have been up 300-400%. ETHER is one of them. Ether, GBDC, great Bitcoin. Another acronym for it is I think is about $47-45. So there are ways to invest in digital currency short of buying the actual Bitcoin or Ethereum. By invest in companies that are mining or companies that are investing in providing platform like Blackboard platform for healthcare industry, for auto industry, and the rest.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So Jeanette was asking a clarifying question. So she's saying Stellar Luminar. Is that the name you mentioned, like for a type of Bitcoin? I think. Did you mention a name, Stellar Luminar?
No, Stellar.
Stellar?
Yeah,
okay.
I spell it for you. STELLAR. Lumens. LUMENS.
Okay, so that is a type of cryptocurrency, you said?
Yes. Right now, the price is 52 cents. The price has gone up 561% this year.
Okay.
So the 1 month is for the past month has been up 95%.
Okay. And the one that Elon Musk bought is which one? It's
Bitcoin. He has spent $1.5 billion in Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. Okay.
If you divide that by $47,000, you can imagine how many he purchased.
Yeah. Because he was tweeting and joking about it, right? And then who lets the dog out? We have that by Snoop Dogg, we have that song. So he was kind of tweeting about it. And then he also talked about some dog coin or Dogecoin. I don't know how to pronounce that. But I was confused. Yeah.
The point is, first of all, as you know, it is extremely risky, right? One thing that makes this very appealing is the fact that there are going to be only 21 million of that out there, not more than that. And it's going to cease right after there. Okay, so right now, if you take a look at this, the total number of coins that is going to be mined this year is 2,625,000. So we basically have roughly 2.5 million left. After that, no more. So supply and demand. When the supply is limited, when you limit the supply and the demand is out there, the price is going to go up. Now, the question is, would more companies put their money into Bitcoin instead of regular dollar or euro? I say yes. The reason for it, inflation. Let's say India, the country of India. Inflation is killing them. Okay, if you convert your money to Bitcoin, it's the best hedge against inflation. Many companies outside of the United States, when they have volatile political situation, China, for example, the price fluctuates. Turkey lira is going up and down like crazy. So if you put your money in Bitcoin, it's not going to, it's going to go up. It has been up for past 10 years. Look, it started from a penny, now is $47,000. Okay, if a company like Elon Musk put $1.5 billion of his asset into Bitcoin, what does that tell you? The guy is not crazy, right? Anyways, I'm not benefiting from you purchasing Bitcoin, but I'm excited about that digital technology. So I hope I have answered your question. Any other question? Do you have any other question?
Yes. So Dr. Ankita Agarwal has a question.
Go ahead.
Do you think issues like money laundering are going to be a bigger problem as the use of cryptocurrency will increase going forward, and how such issues can be resolved?
I really don't have an answer for it. She might be absolutely right. A lot of money laundering or money launderer are using Bitcoin to cover their trace. Would that be more widespread? I really don't have any idea. I'm hoping that government through certain measures can take care of the situation. But in principle, the answer is yes. Is it going to happen? I have no idea. But in principle, yes, it could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, do we have any other questions for Dr. Attaran? It's a very interesting topic. Emerging topic. Very soon we'll be all handling Bitcoins.
Yes, when you made millions of dollars investing in Bitcoin, all I'm asking is 10%.
But then we'll have to learn from you, how to download and then invest in them.
But anyways, well, thank you very much for attending the presentation. It was fun for me to go through this presentation. I hope you learn. If you have any question, my email is matron@csub.edu. You can also go to my website. I have plenty of information, several articles. I have one regarding healthcare that talks about how blockchain is going to be effective on that. And you have access to all the information. Go to the website, click on journal articles, and you can read all of that. If you have any questions, email me. I'd be more than happy to respond. If there is no more question, happy Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. And hopefully we see most of you or all of you in the next presentation from BREC. Sumita, thank you very much for inviting me, and I wish you best.
Then thank you so much, Dr. Attaran, for your wonderful presentation, and thanks to everyone for attending and joining this. And again, as I said, hopefully see you all next time in the break presentation again.
Yes.
Have a happy Friday.
All right. Take care. Good night.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.